right, this is step by step how we're going to lace up a corset. You start at the top with your top two pieces going in. Let me show you here. See how it's going in, not coming out. So you want your top two ones going in. You want to kind of even up your strings. And then all the other ones below it are going to come out. Just for the interest of saving time, I'm not going to try to do this perfectly, but on the big day, you'd want to make sure these ribbons kind of stay flat and that you don't twist them while you're lacing her up. The first stage of lacing is basically just to get the ribbon in the dress. We're going to have 2 or 3 different stages of lacing up to get this right. As you can tell, if we lace it up this loose, we're going to run out of ribbon very quickly. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to reach around from the front and we're going to walk all the slack around to the back. And we're going to start on that second row and we're going to tighten down a little bit. Just a little bit. This isn't going to be the big tightening down yet. What you're going to see is the waist is going to start to be rising. That's a good thing. That way the dress is a little bit more modest in the front. You don't want to lace it where the dress is pulled down too low in the front. You definitely, every time you tighten it down, you need to start from the front of the bodice like I did and pull that back toward you and walk all the slack around. Otherwise, you're going to end up with skin squishing right here and the dress kind of standing out in the front. And it's just not pretty. So it really matters that you walk the slack around. We're going to keep on lacing. This next time we're going to really tighten things down. Almost there. Just for the interest of time, I'm also not going to lace the last 2 loops today. On the big day you can do that, but it's just going to take a little bit more time to push that bow down in there if you do it. So I'm going to start from the front again. As you can tell, I'm kind of rough on her. It's one of those suffer for beauty kind of things. What I'm going to do is I don't pull very tight at all for the top 2. Once I get down to 3 and below, I'm pretty merciless. We need to pull very tight for those to produce that waist. So you get down here, we're going to tie a bow, make the loops plenty big so that these are safe, that they're not too long. You're going to stuff the bow down in here. And you may have to go in under her dress and pull this down through on the big day. Then there's a couple other finer points of note. One, you want to look at the front, make sure it's not standing out, make sure it's centered, make sure that this is level across the back. Snap it if you can. I would look at this V. You can see how this side needs a little bit of correction. You don't want it to bow out anywhere and then come back in. So I'm just going to tighten this part just a smidge, just to keep that pretty V for her. Usually you do need to go back through and adjust a little bit like this. If you start to get some bucking up right here, then that means you need to kind of, when you bring this down, you need to go ahead and leave this a little bit more loose to prevent that bucking up. And then the last thing is, it's important to know that we carry a lot of fluid. Even though she's a little girl, she's got fluid in her body, and fluid likes to go to the easiest place to hang out. So within about 10 minutes, her fluid is going to displace a little bit, and you'll be surprised if you go back in and tighten back down again, you'll probably have another 6 inches of ribbon that you can push in. It's incredible how much more waist that you can get out of the dress just 10 minutes after the lacing. So that's how you lace up a corset.